the current state of Honkai Star Rail. I will leave a link in the description down below for Stioorg's video. Hit that like and subscribe button for him. He makes great content. I love his content. Let's jump into it. Let's see what Stioorg has to say about Honkai Star Rail. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button for me. Hitting that like button helps get the video out there. Hitting that subscribe button helps us grow community over here, helps us grow the channel. Now let's jump into it.
Yo, again today we're doing one of these videos, the current state of Honkai Star Rail. Today we're gonna talk about how the game is doing currently, the future of the game, and basically the good things that stayed in the game. First of all, of course, I'm gonna talk about the revenue report, which really shocked me. Like a filler patch doing better than Genshin Impact was a crazy thing to me. And the thing is, it's Genshin Impact's Natlan. Of course, it's only 3 days, but that's where most people are gonna use their money. And that's a filler patch. Like, this is a huge success for Honkai Star Rail, and as I said like 3 or 4 months ago, I said that Honkai Star Rail is now the standard of every gacha game. And
what surprises me is that at first, I will admit, at first the story is that it did kind of feel filler, especially because the characters that came out at the time. Yunli was just a slightly better version of Clara. Zhao Cho was just a slightly better combination of Pella and Gwenaifen. That's the thing, is that those characters just were very okayish. Nothing too surprising. But the story, on the other hand, even though a lot of the content surrounding 2.4 felt fillerish, the story, you could tell the story was leading up to something, especially due to the fact that the Hunt March 7th character turned out to be a banger of a character. But to kind of go back to what I was talking about with the story actually didn't feel like a filler. I honestly was getting... I actually wanted to sink my teeth into what they were trying to tell with the Jian show, with all these other alliance ships coming together and trying to get this whole thing with the war dance going. But at the same time, there's a prison break about to happen, and it turned out to be this badass wolf dude named Hule. I was absolutely into it. So yes, the vibe of 2.4 felt like a filler, but the story that was being told did not feel like filler at all.
yeah, it's still the standard in my opinion. And not only that, I think the revenue this month will be insane. Like, people are going to spend on Fei Xiao. A lot of people like her, let alone the existence of 3 other banners. And
oh yes. Yeah. All right, to go back to the revenue point he made, yes, I was blown away that 2.4 still made a lot of money just because of Yoon Lee, just like I said, being a slightly better Clara, and Zhao Cho just being a decent, I'll give him credit, a good support just for Acheron. But that's really Zhao Cho's niche. And here's the other thing, and this is just really the sad truth, is that more often than not, male characters don't sell as well as female characters. I can only think of a couple male characters off the top of my head that would really probably get a good source of revenue. One of those characters off the top of my head would be Aventurine. Now that everyone's has seen how good Aventurine is, I could see Aventurine selling well on his rerun. But 100% he is right here. I bet the sales for Honkai Star Rail with Fei Xiao is going to be really good. Not just because Fei Xiao is a great character, but it is a little bit predatory that they're doing a rerun, 3 reruns at the same time with Robin, Black Swan, and Kafka. That is a little bit predatory.
okay, so let us talk about how Honkai Star Rail is doing. So I'm not gonna do a whole review about the game. I'm just gonna talk about the things that I like and the things that stand out actually. Of course, something really cool about the game is the generosity and how the devs are listening in a lot of the players' feedback. Like, this game is doing really good, and the doctor ratio thing that happened before, always having tempos every patch. And the lore of this game is really doing good currently. Like, let me be clear, I stopped playing the game when Firefly came out. I got Firefly and stopped playing. She's level 20, by the way. Then I stopped playing for like 2 patches and came back.
What are you doing? Why do you have a Firefly and you haven't built her? She is among one of the best characters in the game.
back in 2.4 at the end of it, and it is because I thought the patches after Penacony will be just filler and won't be fun, right? But the thing that they did with the story was crazy. Although I didn't play the whole thing, but I watched some things, and even in a filler patch they were creating bangers. Who would have expected that they will still go even after that and write a good new story, or develop a character that you might not like at the start and then it becomes very cool.
What they did with Aventurine was masterful. Literally, when 2.0 dropped, I was on board with everyone else. I thought Aventurine just looked like a douchebag. And he kind of is a douchebag. But the way they told his story in the next update, I think it was 2.1, they made you just take almost a 180 on the guy.
So the story is really captivating for so many people. And now let me talk about the endgame content. This game is doing the best job. Like, they are doing a good job for a gacha game. First of all, I want to talk about events. We can literally play any event that we want if we didn't play it. If you didn't have to play an event, you will get the rewards. Of course, you will miss some, but the fear of missing out is way less here. And as you see, even though I stopped playing, I still have the 2 events here that I didn't play, and it's a really cool aspect. The endgame content, I still didn't play a lot of Apocalyptic Shadow, but I love everything that they do. They add a lot of content that you can play and enjoy the game, and all of them are different than each other, which is very good. But of course, let's talk about the thing that a lot of people are talking about, which is, are you not able to clear the content of the game if you stop playing or if you don't pull the newest character? I didn't play a lot, I just played some of the Forgotten Hall. Didn't play the 12th floor yet. I was a little unlucky here, someone died, but basically I'm not really having the newest characters, okay? Like, my latest character that I got is Aventurine, and I only spent on Aventurine, by the way. Like, I don't spend on this account. It's almost a free to play account. And what I want to say is, yes, there is power creep. You cannot deny that. And I know that if I level up this Firefly, the game will be way easier, just like Akiron does. But it's not actually impossible to play the game. Jingliu is still good. People are even still using Zila, and Clara is doing a good job in the meta. Let alone that the Super Break meta is with the Trailblazer and it's free, which is a bonus, with adding how good a lot of 4 stars are. But of course, the way you can play it, you don't have to finish every single thing for just 60 Js every time, especially if you can get a lot of characters in the game. Like, the game, I think, is generous. Might need to be more generous since there is a little power creep, and especially, what were they thinking by doing this? Of course, a lot of people talked about the downside of this, but I will talk about something positive.
To kind of touch on the whole power creep thing, and this is why the part of the reason why I don't like this subject is because it's very exaggerated. And a lot of people just want to believe that because there is a constant stream of new characters coming out, that they misunderstand and misrepresent that as power creep coming in and fast. No. What people fail to understand is that these characters that are coming out are filling in roles of aspects of team comps that unfortunately do need to be, or fortunately, need to be filled. For example, is Robin going to be good in a Super Break team? No. Robin would be not very optimal for a Super Break team. That's why Robin's role is just about strictly, but not really, but strictly, if you want to use her optimally, in follow-up team comps. Now, there are characters that are kind of flexible. Aventurine can very well work, and to no one's surprise, in a follow-up team comp as the sustain, but Aventurine can also work in an Acheron team comp. There are characters that are universally applicable, which is why Aventurine is so damn good. Can Aventurine work in a Super Break team comp? No. That is why Gallagher, and here soon, Linksha, is going to fit really well into those team comps. So to my point, all these characters are coming out to fill in roles, expand team compositions, so we have different ways to play the game. Now, that's why I always say power creep is a thing in Honkai Star Rail. but it's heavily exaggerated when it comes to how bad or how crazy it is. Because it's not that bad, it's not that crazy. It is a thing. That's why characters like Bailu have fallen by the wayside. Natasha is non-existent. Yang Qing has never been used. Sela sees very little use. Arlon has been forgotten about. There is power creep. I'm not saying there's not. There is power creep, but it's not anywhere near as bad as people are saying it is.
Stopped playing when the Robin banner ended and I got Firefly, and I'm surprised like in 2 patches I can get Robin again. So maybe we have to change how we perceive that, and if you don't get, for example, Fei Xiao, you know that you will get her in like another 3 or 2 patches. But of course it's mostly not good. This is probably the only good thing about it. Now, something very captivating about this game that people are not talking about a lot, which is the existence of a lot of metas, and especially the strategies that you can do. Of course, we can use and say Super Break is very powerful, Ruan Mei ruined the game. But yeah, I can agree with you that Ruan Mei is very OP and she changed the whole thing, but we cannot deny the existence of the other characters and a lot of combs that you can do and the, you know, combos, which I really like. Like, the game is doing a really great job at this. And of course, we can talk about the self-modeling resin and all of these things that they change in the game and they add in the game consistently. Like, they always add something new that changes the game. And that is the thing about Honkai Star Rail. It keeps getting better and better. And yeah, if you want to play the game, I really advise you to play it. Do you have to spend on the game? I don't really think so. Like, if you really want to play the game and give it your time, you can play it. And actually, you can even not play it every day. You can play it very casually, or you can be a hardcore player. This is the definition of a great gacha game. And me personally, I sometimes play it like as a hardcore player. I play it every day. I try to do everything just to beat the game because there is some challenge in the game, or I just don't play it every day. I log in once a week and I still enjoy the game. So of course there is some things that should change or can.
And that's the beauty of Honkai Star Rail. A player can play it either way they want to. They want to play it casually and just enjoy the story. That is something you can do. You don't have to go hard or be a tryhard with this game. But if you do want to be a tryhard, if you do want to be sweaty, if you do want to play this game every day, you can do it because there's so much content in the game, and the game does reward you for being a tryhard by going and doing the hardest stuff in the game that you can possibly do. So that's the cool thing about it. And here's another thing, and this is coming from a person who does enjoy kind of going try hard with it, is that if you can master the strategies, if you can master the different team compositions, because there's so many different ways, and when this game does do its rotations and its resets on the end game, by having that mastery of the different ways that you can build a team, it rewards you by being able to understand how to do that type of strategy. And I absolutely enjoyed it. That's why this is one of my favorite games.
Change as always, dailies, maybe make them weeklies, and we get 360 every week, and that's it. A little more balance to some old characters or the problems in the Path of Erudition. Like, game has problems, but the amount of positive things in it is huge. And of course people might say that I'm glazing, but yeah, I'm just positive about the game. What can I do? Like, just like people said that I'm glazing Wuthering Waves because I was positive, or well, saying that I'm hating about Wuthering Waves because I said that it has some problems. I know that some people are going to say, how did you say that Honkai Star Rail has some problems? Yes, the game does have some problems, okay?
Yes, and the game, and here's the cool thing, and this is why we say so many good things about Wuthering Waves, and why we for the longest time have been talking really well about Honkai Star Rail, is that when we do say constructive criticism about these games, we also will, on that same token, when we see the devs work and try to improve on the things that we criticize constructively, we'll in turn say, hey, they did it. They fixed this. They've improved it. And they deserve the credit that they get when they go around and say, hey, here, you said that this is a problem. This is how we're going to go about fixing it. For quite a while, we've been talking about how the hunt path is got its issues. It's got its challenge. And how did Star Rail fix it? They built upon something they created with Topaz. Topaz is a sub DPS hunt support DPS type character. They made 2 more characters of that type of build. March 7th, her hunt version, is a kind of a harmony / hunt character in 1. And Moza is a nihility and hunt path character in 1. So that's what they're doing. They're kind of expanding on the hunt path by having a hunt path character be that's kind of like Dr. Ratio or Fei Xiao that's strictly DPS. But then you have these other type of hunt characters like Topaz, Moza, and March 7th who are able to be supports while sub DPSs at the same time. And by being hunt characters and really kind of going balls deep into the follow-up attack meta, that actually makes the hunt path even more viable in team compositions, that makes that whole type of character archetype more enjoyable to use. Now my criticism's kind of going back to erudition. Outside of pure fiction, I want to see erudition do better. I want to see erudition characters see more viability, because I want to see those characters, like I said, I kind of already said it, do better outside of pure fiction.
It's not perfect, it's a gacha game, it's always flawed. The meta and the power creep can be better, always. And for the popularity, the game is super popular now, not only as a gacha game, but as a game as a whole. And yeah, that's basically the current state of Honkai Star. Rail. You guys like these types of videos, so I'm gonna make sure that I talk about the other games and their state. And yeah, that was the video. Bye bye.
But another great video by Stioorg. So I'm going to leave a link in the description down below. Hit that like button for him. Hit that subscribe button for him. Great content. But I agree. Honkai Star Rail is pretty much in a really good state. It's showing that it can even make really banger stories during its downtime or filler time. But there's a reason that I agree with him. Honkai Star Rail is pretty much the gold standard when it comes to just a really genuinely good gacha game, but just a really good game in general. Great turn-based RPG mechanics, great character designs, great story. It always checks the boxes when it comes to what it needs to do. And even better, when there is criticism, when there is constructive criticism directed their way, they respond. And they try to always improve the game by always adding to the game. Not just in content, but also in its quality of life. Honkai Star Rail is truly the gold standard of gacha games. And I really hope, and I'm really hoping, Stioorg delivers on the current state of Genshin Impact. I will absolutely love to hear his thoughts on the current state of Genshin Impact. That would be one hell of a discussion. But definitely get down to the comments down below and let me know what you guys are thinking of Honkai Star Rail. Do you agree about mine and Stioorg's opinions? Do you think Honkai Star Rail is the gold standard? Are you enjoying Honkai Star Rail? Are you enjoying the current story and what the game's got going on in update 2.5? And with that being said, definitely hit that like and subscribe button. Hitting that like button helps get the video out there. Hitting that subscribe button helps us grow a community over here, helps us grow the channel. So if you can hit that like and subscribe button, I'd greatly appreciate it. And with that being said, I'll catch you guys later.